All right, so we're going to look at two brands, and then we're going to follow their journey and see what they did with their products. So remember, what problem, what customer, what value. So the problem, who knows that Safaricom was started at Telecom Kenya? You know? Okay, awesome. That was something that I also found out when I was doing the research for this work. So for them, their purpose at the time before they became a technology company was they wanted to make communication affordable to all Kenyans. Kensel, on the other end, who was their primary competitor, I couldn't really find what their purpose was, so I chose one for them, which is unreliable telephony services from the national carrier due to vandalism. So when I was growing up also, there used to be a lot of issues around copper cables being cut, yeah? People would enter into manholes, they would cut, and then a whole locality would lose connectivity. So with the wireless technology and the mobiles, those are some of the issues that they were solving. Which customer? Yeah? For Safaricom, from their purpose, they want to make communication more affordable to all Kenyans. If you are the general mwananchi or the kawaida mwananchi and you needed to make a call back in the day, you had to go to a call box. Yeah? And sometimes you find that maybe there's one in the estate, so sometimes you'll find like people have made a queue, sometimes it's not working, and that was an issue. For Kensel, they wanted the upmarket community of rich business people and company executives. So these are probably people who already have a landline at home or in the office. And then the value proposition, because I want it to be cheap, I'll only pay for what I'm using. And on this other end, it's more around high quality voice and data network. All right, having a clear product vision is very important because it answers three things. Number one, what value are you bringing today? Number two, how do you want to improve on that? And number three, how could the product look like 5 to 10 years out? Yeah? So we want to see the purpose of these products and what they are doing.
I'm sorry, I think I may not have understood. Would you say that again?
But of course, the goats understand more than you know. I am a chocolate biscuit, Twinkie Twinkie.
In life, the value of clear communication cannot be underestimated, which is why the Yes mobile phone network gives you access to the latest international GSM technology so that everything you say comes over loud and crystal clear.
Sorry about that. Sometimes pink elephants float through my marmalade.
If you're looking for unparalleled sound clarity,
The answer is yes.
Yeah, so you can see the target audience was business people, and even the ads were communicating that. For Safaricom, I did not choose a Safaricom ad. I chose a Telcom ad because this was right the time at which they were launching. So let's see what their purpose is. And you'll probably see a familiar DNA.
Of all the skills that Kenya needs to grow strong and healthy, the most important of all is the ability to communicate. Without it, we'll still be crawling while the rest of the world is striding into the future. That's why Telkom Kenya has been created to help build Kenya's local and global telecommunications by launching state-of-the-art services to cover the entire nation.
So you can see the difference in terms of like the purpose that those two products had set out to do. So let's see how these three things translated into the business. So both businesses got their licenses to operate around 1999, 2000. The green line is Safaricom. The red line is cancel. So around 2001 or 2002, Safaricom introduced the 100 shillings scratch card. If you were present during those times, you'll know how expensive it was to get scratch cards. Like we had scratch cards going up to 2,500. I think the lowest from Kensel at the time was 600 shillings. Yeah. So Safaricom, according to their DNA and the purpose they set up for themselves to make communication more affordable, they started doing that. And then around 2004, they launched the Simu ya Jamii. And they also launched per second billing. So instead of being billed per minute, you can actually call the person and say, hi, nipigie simu, and then you hang up. Yeah? Because Celtel was in need for the business and how they'd segmented their audiences, it even shows in terms of like what happened. Slightly, even less than 4 or 5 years, they'd already sold the business. And then Safaricom also introduced Sambaza and Please Call Me because they're trying to make communication more accessible. So you can actually, if I know you don't have credit, maybe you're my small brother and I know you need to talk to your person, I can Sambaza you 50 bob credit and then you communicate. They later on went to launch M-Pesa, and you can see once M-Pesa was launched, what really happened to the graph. Celtel was still struggling, was sold again for the second time. When Safaricom went live with their IPO, Celtel was also sold again, now to Airtel. And it is only after the acquisition by Airtel where we start to see the graph going up, because now that's when they started to actually listen to consumers. The same thing when we're talking about products and how they continue in their journey is that, yes, today you've started by setting up the networks, making the scratch cards accessible. For example, like for Safaricom, you'd find them in the stages where there are matatus, where the community is, that's where you'll find their scratch cards. Yeah? For these ones, you probably need to go to a shop somewhere. But after that, for your product, you continuously need to continue adding value on top of that. And that is what we can see from Safaricom and the way it's growing. So M-Pesa created a way for them to even reach more people than they'd initially reached. So this is why having a product vision is important. If you're only getting into product development because you want to generate money, then you're not going to be in business for too long. Yeah? It needs to be longer than that. You need to think more around which value am I creating today, 3 years from now, how will it look like, 10 years into the future, how could it look like? You only benefit when the customer benefits.